Okay.
Hello, my name is Barbara Schuppler. I'm from Graz University of Technology, and I'm presenting a paper entitled An Analysis of Prosodic Boundary Detection in German and Austrian German Red Speech, and it's co-authored by Bogdan Ludusan from Bielefeld University. The motivation behind this paper or this research is that speech technology applications require big amounts of annotated speech corpora. And the development of prosodic annotations is among the most time consuming. Currently available prosodic annotation tools, however, have only been tested for specific varieties and are not variety independent. So for each additional language variety, additional training material needs to be collected in order to train such tools. The tool we present here is variety independent and focuses on the automatic annotation of prosodic boundaries. It uses a set of acoustic cues that are known to contribute to the perception of prosodic phrasing. And we present an evaluation of the detector and an analysis of the contribution of the acoustic cues on German and Austrian German red speech. The tool has previously been presented by Ludusan and in 2014. It's signal-based and it uses exclusively features which are also relevant to the infant's perception of phrasing. The four acoustic features used are pause duration, nucleus duration, onset duration, and F0 reset, and I'll present how they're extracted on the next slides. The tool computes a detector function by summing the contribution of each individual feature. It's not a machine learning technique. Okay? It does not require training. And then it places the boundaries in correspondence to the local maxima of the function. So an example from Austrian German red speech, it's the sentence is well then as you wish, and you'll now hear the German recording.
Nun gut, wie Sie wollen.
And this is how we extracted the features. So first, pause duration. There is one longer pause after gut and between b, and of course a long pause at the end of the utterance, and we extract the absolute pause durations, and they are forwarded to the detector. Then the tool extracts nucleus duration. So of each syllable, the nucleus duration is extracted, and only the values for the local maxima are forwarded to the detection function, and the others are set to 0. The nucleus onset to nucleus onset duration, which in the following shortly will name as onset duration, is also extracted in a similar fashion, and also only the local maxima are forwarded to the detector function and the others are set to 0. And the fourth feature is F0 reset. This is calculated as follows. For each syllabic nucleus, the average F0 is calculated. Then the local minima in this average F0 are derived, which here would be within the syllable nun, the U, and in B there is another minimum. And then the the difference to the F0 mean of the following syllable is calculated. And that's what we forward as F0 reset to the detection function. These four acoustic features are summed up and then normalized between 0 and 1. And then the boundaries are placed where the detection is placed at those syllables which have a maximum and which is beyond a certain threshold, which can be seen here with the red line. This is the threshold. So this tool was tested on two corpora on the same reading material, Northwind and Sand and Buttergeschichte, once read by German speakers within the Kiel corpus and once read by Austrian speakers within the Graz corpus. The Kiel corpus has 30 speakers, the Graz corpus 19, so there are fewer speakers. So also there are more prosodic boundaries to be detected in the Kiel corpus. The manual phone segmentations have been done slightly different. In the Kiel corpus, they were done manually, and in the Graz corpus, they were done with the automatic segmentation tool mouse and afterwards corrected manually. The prosodic annotation was done in both cases following the Kiel intonation model, and they were done manually. So, to the results. Here we see the annotation performance of the detector. We see the precision recall curves in blue for the Kiel corpus and in red for the Graz corpus. And the two circles are the random baseline. And we see that the tool performs significantly worse on the Graz corpus than for the Kiel corpus, but they're both way beyond the baseline. The maximum F score for the Kiel corpus was 0.58 and for the Graz corpus 0.37. Next, we looked into speaker variation. So here you see separate lines for each individual speaker of the two corpora. And what becomes very obvious is that within one corpus, there is more variation than the difference between the two, the difference in performance between the two. One substantial part of this paper, however, was not only to see how well this detector works for the different varieties, but also to analyze how the acoustic features contribute to the perception of the boundaries in the two varieties. Okay, so the perception is given as by the perceptually based labels in the corpus. And overall, we found that all four features contribute significantly in both varieties to the perception of a boundary, but there were also some differences. For instance, onset duration had a lower contribution to whether there was a boundary perceived after a syllable or not in the Kiel corpus than in the Graz corpus. So for the Austrian data, onset duration is, or this is a rhythmical, a durational feature. This feature has a larger importance than in the German data. On the other hand, F0 reset was a more or higher significant or more important feature for the German data than for the Austrian listeners. So this F0 reset plays a larger role for the German data. Additionally, we found that even though all speakers used the same reading material, there were much more phrase boundaries placed in the Austrian German data than in the German data. So Austrian Germans pause more or make more phrase boundaries when they read. These findings are in line with a study by Ulbrich from 2006, which was a study based on a smaller database and with different research methods than we used. But her observations on the variation and the differences in prosodic phrasing among the German varieties went into the same direction, especially concerning how often we pause while we speak. Then we also looked into speaker variation. So the area under the curve standard deviation in the Gras corpus and in the Kiel corpus are approximately the same. Yeah? And we analyzed again with regression models which features do have the strongest speaker variation. And there also we found a very interesting difference, whereas in the Austrian German data, all features are speaker dependent. All 4 acoustic features are significantly varied among all speakers. In the German data, F0 reset and onset duration were not speaker dependent, or not, at least not in the not significant. So this also maybe might be explained by what Holzgräfe Lang in 2012 found in a study where they investigated which features infants use to perceive a phrase boundary. And they found that the pitch reset and final lengthening always needed to occur simultaneously so that infants would perceive it as such. And that might explain why these 2 features are not varied as much among speakers as the others. So to conclude, we compared the signal-based boundary detection system on 2 language varieties. There were differences in performance between them, so the detector worked better for German than for Austrian German. The analysis of the contribution of the features is consistent with previous work, and we think these are very encouraging results because the tool has a good output that we can use as a first pass annotation tool with further manual correction in order to complete the annotations. In the future, we will also expand our investigation, especially also about the contribution of the features in the different varieties to conversational speech. Thank you for your attention.